Hey there, everyone. I'm Will.
And I'm Karen.
And we welcome you to Ask the Skeptic Metaphysicians Live. This is the second of the series that we are doing. We still don't know any more now.
we just don't know it again.
No, but if you're joining us, this is where, hang on, first, I probably should have said this. Yes, we are Karen and Will, the Skeptic Metaphysicians, and we invite you to come and say hello, talk to us. We are going to be here for a little bit. This is your opportunity to ask us anything you want to know about us, anything you want to know about spirituality, anything in reason.
Well, I mean, you can ask.
You could, yeah.
We don't know if we'll answer.
No guarantees I'll answer. In fact, Karen, I got a bunch of questions.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we got a bunch of questions this time. I don't know if we're going to have time to go through all of them, but it's nice to know that a lot of people have sent us questions because they wanted to know. Yeah, they want to know. They want to be involved. So if you have a question, feel free to put it into the comments below, and we might just put it up on the screen for you. These questions that I got by email, I forgot to make the banners. So I just have to read them to you. Yeah, instead of putting up on a banner. But before we go to those questions, Karen, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to know what these questions are.
Yeah, we'll get to them. What do you want to talk about?
Wow, put me on the spot. I would like to talk about so many things. Now, I don't know.
Okay, well, then let me ask you a question.
Okay. So, I mean, you looked like you had a question for me when you asked me that.
It's not that I have a question. I have a topic, something I definitely want to discuss today.
Okay.
Recently, a couple weeks ago, you had a very incredible experience that we talked about a little bit on the roundtable that we're going to release here very shortly, but we haven't talked about it with our audience yet.
Okay.
You don't even.
I'm not sure which experience you're talking about.
We did this spontaneous thing. We got a hotel room somewhere and we got up in the morning.
That experience.
Yes.
I mean, I have so many incredible experiences.
That's true. I mean, you are married to me.
Yes, survival is one of my incredible experiences.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, so we did a very spontaneous thing. For those of you who may not be aware, there's a group of, I guess it started with 20, right? 20 Buddhist monks that started in Fort Worth, Texas. They started on a trek, a 2,300 mile trek from Fort Worth, Texas, all the way to Washington, D.C. It just so happens that at the time of this airing, they actually just crossed into D.C.
Yeah,
I think this morning. Today. Yeah, this morning. So
2,300 miles and over 100 days walking.
Yeah, 110 days, something like that. But
yeah.
So we got a wild hair to get in our car and go to Petersburg, which is probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from where we live.
And it was the weekend of the snowstorm.
Right. But it hadn't snowed. No,
it had not snowed yet, but it was like, oh my God, we got to go see the peace monks.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that's not what they're called.
No.
But in our household, they're the peace monks.
Walk for peace. Yeah. But they're picking up people as they go. More and more people are coming and standing at the side of the road while they are walking by, and they're offering them flowers and fruits and things like that. And just the experience of being with them, being in their presence is pretty amazing. And before you spoil it, Karen, let's just finish the story. We actually got in the car and went to the hotel room. The next morning, we woke up early and went searching for them in Petersburg. We knew they're going to be there somewhere, but we ended up following them along on social media and knew what road they're going to be on, but not exactly where on that road. So we started at the very beginning of the road and we drove all the way down until we ran into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was freezing. It was like 2 degrees.
It was so cold.
Yeah. And we had our dog.
And we had our daughter, and there's people lining up on the road just on the one side. And it wasn't like in the middle of stuff. Like you'd pass some gas stations and stores, and then there'd be stretches of just trees.
It was a country road.
2-lane roads in the trees. So we were in like a trees section.
Yeah.
So so we saw the flashing light. And I'm like, oh, it's the monks.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of traffic. So I pushed her and our daughter out of the car to go.
While it was still going. No.
Yes. You mentioned survival, right?
Yeah,
so there you go. But while I went to go park, and now, so then I finally found some parking and was trying to put a a hoodie on our dog so we can take him too to see the
It
monks,
was so cool.
because they have a dog with them, right?
They do, Aloka.
Yeah, they have a stray dog from India who actually joined their walk in India, and now it just goes wherever they go. And it would have been cool to see our two dogs meet, but it was too difficult. So I just gave up and I ran over because they were texting me like, they're here. Oh my God, they're almost here. You got to. So I ran to go see them, and I saw them as they were passing by. Like I just missed them. But you and Sienna had the opportunity to be right in their line of sight.
We were right there, and we had our flowers. Like we had flowers, we had granola, all this stuff. And when they're there, they walk fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just, and they like 2,300 miles walking at that clip. I mean, these men are in shape. And so we're kind of like holding, trying to give them flowers, and they're going by so fast. So we're getting like every other one. And it was so fast, but it was so amazing. It was so amazing. And then, you look at them and you're just like, thank you. And they're looking and they're saying thank you back. And it's like, it just was incredible.
Yeah. And so then after it was all said and done, we got back in the car and we're trying to leave, but there was a big traffic jam to get out. And Karen, the emotion just overcame. And she just started sobbing. Tell us, what was the crying for?
I don't even know. It was like to the point where I was starting to hyperventilate. It was just this feeling of overwhelm. Like I was so happy that we made it there, and just to be in the presence of these people that are, I mean, literally sacrificing themselves. Like there was one monk that there was an accident and he got hit by their safety vehicle. A truck hit that one, and then that one hit him, and he had to have his leg amputated. Yeesh. And so I think he just got out of the hospital.
He did.
And not bitter at all about losing his leg, but to be in the presence of people that are that dedicated, that are getting nothing from this.
Right. Yeah.
And just doing this to teach us about, inner peace and creating peace on the outside by starting within. It was just overwhelming.
Yeah. It was good to see that he actually was able to hop over and meet them in DC. So.
That, don't, no. No jokes about the peace monks.
No, it's truly amazing. And one of the coolest things that I found was that when they started in Fort Worth, nobody knew about them. So little by little, the word got out, and then by the time they got to Petersburg, there were just hundreds of people on the street. The next day, they were in Richmond, and there were 10,000 people waiting for them there, and it's just amazing. And now on their way to DC, I think they're going to have a big rally tomorrow, I believe. So I'm hoping it'll maybe double size that.
Probably more.
It's a national mall that's happening. Or not in a Lincoln Memorial. Things was happening.
And they were saying that, they knew that there would be some people that would come out and meet them from time to time on the side of the road. But they got to the point where, they were walking 12 miles one day, and there's 12 miles of people.
Yeah.
That have driven, and we weren't the only ones there were people. We saw Florida license plates, and we parked. There was just some random building where we parked, and all these cars were parked there, and you could see the cars parked facing the road. They're just waiting. Everyone's waiting. But people just went because it's just such an incredible thing that they're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty
just
amazing.
Incredible,
and a great way to showcase what can happen. We do have a comment that just came in. I want to put it up in here. It's actually a question. Erin Elise Jordan just said, "Oh, the monks finally made it to y'all." Yep, they did a little while ago, and it was amazing. Oh, apparently she is in Mississippi, and they passed through her there a while back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you were right at the very beginning of it, right? When there was only just a few people on the street, we had literally hundreds and hundreds of people. I'm curious, Erin, how many people were there when or were you able to see them? Did you go see them? I know that I may not have gone had I not heard so much about them, over the course of their walk. But but it brings up a really really interesting point, because one of the questions that we got was about the monks was, how does walking 2,300 miles show world peace? How does that illustrate peace by just walking? And I think what I got the most out of was their Oh, sorry, Aaron. She just responded. Aaron says yes, and they had a couple hundred each time. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
They would stop at lunch and they would
Mm-hmm.
stop at dinner and they would have
Mm-hmm.
a talk.
Mm-hmm.
And each time I listened to them, the talk was about mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
and about inner peace.
Mm-hmm.
And it was wonderful because it honestly helped me to spark my thought process around what does peace mean to me? How can I bring peace um, to my life? When they're talking about walking for peace in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but at the essence of it was find peace within yourself. When you bring peace to yourself, you elicit change by the example that you're providing.
And I think that's what they were doing. They were providing that example because here they are walking hundreds of miles and it's snowing, it's raining, there's cars, there's, accidents, there's all these things happening.
Yeah.
But they kept going through and they weren't jostled by it. Even, they said when they come, don't cheer. I mean, some people did because you want to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's more just
Yeah.
about being present.
Yeah.
And really just kind of having that energy exchange
Yeah.
and gathering that peaceful feeling inside of yourself.
Yep. And that's the thing, that the peace, that mindfulness, that being present, that is the thing that is that blew me away the most, because now I'm remembering to be in the moment, to experience everything. They had to walk 2,300 miles, not talking, not just in their thoughts, being inside, being present. They talked about how their bodies were in pain, but yet they persevered. I mean, it's unbelievable. Aaron now says it in the very beginning when they started, one of their escort cars went over.
Yeah.
Yep. We were just talking about that. I'm glad you missed my joke, Aaron, after that. But yeah, but anyway, but no, it's true. And just the commitment to it, because once you get started on something like that, it's like, yeah, I got to the border of Texas. Yeah, that's too much, right? I couldn't walk that far, much less 2,300 miles.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And in the weather that they were walking in, and they had, some of them didn't have shoes on at the beginning when it wasn't terribly cold, and you see all the bruises on their feet, and just still that just very serene look when they were walking by and we were handing them the flowers. It was just kind of like, thank you. And it wasn't like they weren't like big smiles, but they also weren't like, oh, sucks, I'm walking for 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
They just were just like, thank you. And it's just such a
yeah. I can't help but think or imagine that when they saw the reactions, the receptions they were getting, it must have kind of given them more fuel, right? Because I can only imagine when they first started. I heard the one of the venerable monks speak about how, like you mentioned, they expected a few people, but they never expected what they encountered.
Yeah.
And so to see that level of support, even though they did get some controversial.
They did. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean,
they're walking for peace. Come on.
Yeah. But it takes all kinds. But
that's true. That's true.
But anyway, so I'm trying now to live my life more in the moment. And I think the more in the moment that we are, the more we're going to be able to unlock that spirituality. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And that's hard, because we're conditioned to think future. To think future, regret past.
Yeah.
Focus on the future, and like in the middle never happens, even though that's the only thing that's constantly happening, because it's never going to be there and it's never going to be back there. So it's kind of, it's kind of crazy.
I read somewhere, in a book I read recently, that said that it is impossible to be spiritual when you're unconscious. And the only way to be unconscious is to be present in the moment. So when you think about it, when you are, right now we're talking about spirituality. We're on the air, we're having conversations with folks. We're focused on spirituality. So we're in the moment right now. However, when you have this problem at work, or something happens and you're in a car and you're trying to drive somewhere, you're not thinking about spirituality. You're not thinking about the present moment. Your thoughts are everywhere. You're in the shower, you're brushing your teeth, you're making dinner. Right. You're always in somewhere else. You're not here. So you're not being spiritual. And they say it is impossible to be spiritual if you're not in the present moment. And so to me, that's a challenge to say I need to be present more, because I do want to be more spiritual. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Aaron says, I'm so surprised, but especially happy that so many of us have been so supportive and welcoming towards them. No question.
Yeah.
No question. I'm very happily surprised. It's super happy. And I hope that the final days in DC show the world how many more of us are out there that are really supporting what they're trying to do.
And I like that they were getting the different badges from the different police officers. Yes. They were giving them the badges to wear. And I think even Aloka got a little badge.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Aaron says that is deep. Yes. It is deep. which is not usual for me. So thanks for witnessing it. No. All right. So anything else about the monks you want to talk about?
I want to be one of them.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it will probably spark some interest in Buddhism.
I hope so. And I just can't say how appreciative I am that these people, I mean, yes, some of them are from here. They've gone to university here, but some of them are from, different cultures, different parts of the world. But the fact that they would take so much time to just showcase or focus on helping a country that is in strife right now, because I believe we are. There's a lot of division. And they're like, you know what? This is what we can do. We can walk.
Do you think that
I'm just very grateful?
Do you think they did it for the country, or do you think they did it just for them?
I don't know. I think they did it for the people. I wouldn't say they did it for the country. I think they see a country that's in strife, and then they look and see why, and they see the people and they see what's going on, and everyone's kind of mentally having so many challenges lately. There's the division, there's fear, there's doubt, there's angst, there's so much going on. And I think they're trying to say, hey, take a moment and just watch us walk by, just take a moment. And if everyone just takes those moments and we add up all those little moments together, that's something.
I think the whole country took a moment. It took many moments as they were watching the live streams walk through. So. Yeah, I hope so too. And there were all kinds of people there. Yeah. The people that you thought, they were very much into it. It was really good to see.
It's not a political thing.
Right.
It's not a political thing. It's not a religious thing, even though some people thought it was.
Thank God. It's neither of those. It's a unifying thing.
It's a unifying thing, and it's something that everybody wants.
Yeah. Right.
Peace out.
Yes. All right, Karen.
Yes.
Thanks for indulging me in that conversation.
No problem.
What do you think about being present?
Well, I think it's important. I think it can be really hard, like we were saying, because sometimes you're so busy focusing on what's going to happen at work tomorrow, or, where are we going for a vacation, or my mother's getting, older, or whatever. And then thinking, well, should I have done that right? Or if I would have done this differently, that it's hard to actually be in the present. And it's an indulgence. It almost feels like, I think that's what it feels like. I feel like if I'm just taking this time, and that's what we need to learn, that it's not, people talk about self-care. And being present actually is self-care. But it translates to everything around you and your surroundings at that moment.
Right. I think in the same place I read about you can't be spiritual without being in the present moment. There was a recommendation of how to find yourself, to pull yourself back. And that is to find the miracle in everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So when I was pouring my water this morning, as I'm pouring it into my glass, I'm watching the water pour into the glass, and I noticed how absolutely crystal clear that water was going in. And then when it was in the glass, I could totally see right through it, but I knew there was water in there. It was beautiful. It's a miracle of it, right? And as I started to drink it, and I started imagining it going down into my stomach, the refreshing aspect of it, because I'm one of those crazy people who drinks cold water because I can't.
And you don't even really like water.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of water, but this water, even though it's just regular water, was amazing because I took the moment to actually enjoy what was happening. When you find the miracle in it, I think that pulls you into the present moment.
Mhm.
So if you can find something that is miraculous about everything that you're doing, like right now, what I'm finding miraculous is the fact that I'm speaking and this thing somehow is picking up my voice and sending it across thousands of miles all over the world
Mhm.
for people to listen to what we're saying. I just
You better say something important then.
no, I just got intimidated.
You just scared yourself.
Never
We
mind.
gotta go. And we hope you like
Yeah.
this episode now.
but it's miraculous, and just the
Yeah.
thought of my voice. I'm in my mind imagining the words I'm saying going into this thing, and then just climbing up the little the cables and going off. And that's miraculous, right? If you
really
if you
is.
focus on the miracles that you're doing, you're experiencing.
And I know we've talked about this for a totally different subject, but that's how conversations
That's
go.
what we're here for.
We talk about how, okay, the radio works or the internet works, television, all of that stuff. And you turn something on and you're getting songs or you're getting whatever out of it.
Mhm.
And people are like, okay, yeah, you just plug that in and they can figure out the sound waves and the cords and cables. And obviously I'm a very high-tech person here. Figure out all the stuff involved in that.
Yes.
And it's science and
The
physics
gimmicky
and whatever, and it's done.
doodads. Yeah.
Yet when it comes to things like, Reiki, energy, healing, these sort of things,
Yes.
people don't believe it. Okay, so I can't see, we were talking with Erin, right? Chatting.
Mhm.
She's in
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, really far away, Erin.
Huh?
I have no idea how, I can't see a cord. I don't see a cord that attaches all the way to Mississippi, right?
Right?
But that's okay. I don't need that proof.
It's the waves, right? The
Yeah.
sound waves.
So, but I believe it. It's obviously it's happening.
Right.
So why is it so hard?
Well, I think because it's difficult to prove energy healing, right? So
it?
so we're speaking, and Erin in Mississippi
Well,
hears
yeah, I
us,
guess
and
that's the
she
proof.
responds to what we're saying. So
Mhm.
there's proof. But however, when we give Reiki to somebody, now there has been moments that I've experienced that has been definitive proof.
Yeah.
But the majority of the times, it's an internal thing. You don't really
Okay, so people are like, "Oh, sound healing, that's a bunch of whatever." Oh, what did they
sound
use?
healing.
Yeah, and then
No.
like all of those echocardiograms, that's sound waves.
Yeah.
So I can use sound for science and that works, but why can't I believe that a sound, healing
Right. But
sound bath will work?
But sound has been measured, right? There's frequencies. It's
Right, but I'm just saying
proven
it's a different example. Something that they have proven that sound has this energy. You can use it for these medical purposes.
for sure. Yes.
So why is it hard to believe that sitting in a sound bath?
Because they have, I mean, no, I think sound baths are pretty proven. I think, I mean, the different frequencies will absolutely act differently inside your
Right, I get
body.
that, and you get that.
Yeah.
But why don't when you go to the doctor, they're just like, "Oh, okay, your prescription, you need 2 sound baths."
Because-
or, you know what I mean? Because that's what I mean. It's
Be-
not like, proven.
Because they don't get a kickback for that.
Maybe not.
Yeah, the minute doctors start getting kickbacks or sound baths, you bet you we're going to be all over them. Yeah. All right. You want to answer some questions, Karen?
Sure.
Okay. So we sent out a call for questions to our audience to talk about, to answer them here on the show, and we got a bunch, and I've edited them to just the essence of them, so that we don't sit here and read an entire paragraph question.
Question essence.
The essence of the questions. So I'm going to ask you them, and I'm going to see what your thought is, and we can use them as a springboard to these
This
conversations.
isn't like the fast thing, like blue,
no,
orange,
no.
avocados.
No.
Okay.
You can take your time. All right. The first question came from Charlotte in just North Carolina, is all she said. And the question is, what is your biggest spiritual blind spot right now, Karen?
I'm not sure what that question means.
What do you think you have the most room for improvement in?
All of it.
I knew you could say that.
I don't know.
Can I call you out?
Okay.
Really? Like full on call you out?
Oh God.
All right. We're going to announce it here on the show. Karen, for those of you who don't know, is an angel on the planet. We all knew that already. However, there have been times. It started when we interviewed Angie Hipple in the lady that channels the Judah Collective. The way we do the show is that she doesn't know who we're talking about or what the topic is. I do all the research, all the outreach, all that kind of stuff, and then she comes in and she brings the audience perspective to the conversation so that it's more organic. The conversation, the questions that come from Karen. So she didn't know we're going to be talking to someone who channels a collection of 350,000 angels, and no sooner did I start introducing this collective, Karen just waterworks. Like we had to stop the interview for a bit because she was just out of control, and I couldn't understand why.
And I couldn't either.
Do the interview, everything goes fine, and then as soon as we say thank you so much, Anjali, we stop the recording. We say thank you. We say goodbye. We turn off the computer. I turn to Karen, and she is losing it. She is hyperventilating. She's having a hard time breathing. She gets to the point where I thought I might have to call the doctor. And then she stops. And then she opens her eyes and looks at me. And the eyes that were looking at me were not Karen's. She let something else, or something else came through her. I don't know if she let it come through. The hyperventilating might have proven otherwise, but an entity came through her. And it was regal and ginormous, and I was unworthy to be in the same room with this thing. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. For those of you who have followed us for a while, you know I'm the skeptic in the bunch, kind of pragmatic, not cynical. I really want to believe this stuff, but I need to really find a way to wrap my head around it. I couldn't wrap my head around this. I couldn't understand what was happening. I also have a challenge sometimes with channeling because it just feels weird for me, right? It just seems out of the norm, it's extraordinary, just hard to believe. And here was my life partner channeling something that I couldn't understand. And I felt the energies to the point where I felt I need to leave this room right now because I don't belong here. It was strange, very strange. Fast forward several days later, same thing happens. But now she's bringing forth a different entity, and it feels playful, like a child somehow, but super wise and ancient, and yet joyful and playful and very, very different type of energy. Fast forward again, something else comes through. And this continues to happen to the point where I actually started recording. When she starts hyperventilating, I start recording because I know what's going to happen. And we have recordings of her channeling information that we've never released. And so I would say, Charlotte, that her biggest blind spot is believing that what she is doing is actually real and not her own imagination. I think that's the biggest question mark for her. And so I would love for you all to help me encourage her to look into that, because obviously something's coming through. Something wants to talk through her, but she's blocking it because she's afraid that she's making things up. So I would love for you to send her as many emails as you can saying, do it, encourage her, because I think that she could really do a lot of good for the world. Thank you. So what do you think? What are you thinking about this stuff? We haven't talked about it in a while.
Oh, we haven't talked about it in a while. Yeah, I got a little disconnected.
A little?
Well, yeah,
disconnected from the channeling.
Yeah, from all the things.
Right.
From all the things. So I had a medical situation happen.
True.
And that kind of pulled me back into just
3D
and kind of getting through it.
Yes.
And that's been my focus for several months.
Right.
But lately, I've kind of been trying to get back to it. And I've told you, kind of like, all right, universe, you still have my back. And there've been a couple like just silly little things that have happened. It's like, okay, so the first one was I needed a paper clip. So I was downstairs and I'm like, okay, I'm going to come upstairs and come to the office and get a paper clip. And actually it was like for this thing on my bra, and, long story, but I hooked the straps back so I can wear those little t-shirts that go like that. So I come in here, I go upstairs, and our stairs are pretty steep. So you see, as you're going up, you see the stairs, like, It's just really obvious. And I come upstairs and I'm always thinking I need to sweep the stairs, but I get my paperclip and I'm like, usually it's just a quick little, you stick it on, it's done. And I couldn't, for some reason, couldn't get it to stick on. And I pull it out and it's all bent up. And by now I'm back at the stairs, coming downstairs. And I'm like, and right before I saw it bent up, I'm like, I'm trying to pull it out and I look and I see there's a paperclip on the stairs. And I'm like, how did that get there? Because I hadn't been back from the office yet. And as I see it there, I pull this one out and it's all bent up. And it's like, okay, you knew I needed another paperclip before I knew I needed another paperclip. And so you gave it to me right there. And I had walked up the stairs 2 minutes ago on my way to look for a paperclip. So if there was one on the stairs at the time, I would have seen it. So
we call that a glitch in the matrix.
And that was like, okay, yeah, maybe there was a paperclip, you can see it. That you can kind of explain away. But the other one was not. So I was getting up to make some coffee. And I just put like milk or cream in my coffee. And I'm like, oh, we're out, So I'm thinking, I'm like, well, I can have it black, but I don't really like black coffee. But then I remembered a long time ago, I had made something. And in the recipe, you had to use creamer, like dry milk creamer. And I had stuck it way back somewhere in the pantry, hadn't used it for like months, but I knew it was there. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get that creamer. And then I can put that in my coffee and I can, have my cream in there. And I'm walking back to the pantry and there's like this little hallway. And I turned to walk into the hall, and right there in the middle of the hallway is that thing of creamer just sitting there waiting for me. That like it had to have gotten out of the pantry into the hallway and to be sitting there in the hall. It was just the most bizarre thing.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up again because I meant to ask you the question about this. Now you said that the creamer, you had put it way back in the pantry.
Yeah.
So it wasn't close by where, because it's just like the washing machine might have bumped the wall and made it fall over.
No, because then even if that was the case, it would have had to fall and like roll out of the pantry and land up in the hallway.
Because it was deep in the pantry. It wasn't right on the edge of the pantry.
I mean, it's not something I ever use. So I wouldn't have put it like right there in the front.
So
but
you didn't just buy it recently?
No, this was like 6 months ago. I used it to make some chai, like instant chai latte thing.
Okay, that's freaky.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. It was very weird because it was probably like, I'm thinking if I was going to go look for it, I would have looked on the top shelf, like the middle of the shelf, which is like maybe 2 feet away from the hallway, from the doorway thing to the hallway. So even if I put it on the edge of all the things to fall,
right.
But I wouldn't have put it on the edge because I did, that's where I grab stuff. And it had been months since I bought it. It was just,
well, I'm
wild.
Thinking that might be the universe saying, hey, come back.
I'm thinking that was the proof thing.
Yeah.
That and then the job interviews thing.
Yeah.
So
exactly
there's all kinds of things are happening.
Lots of stuff happening. We'd love to hear if you had an experience like that. Has there been a glitch in the matrix for you? Have you noticed something funky happening?
I don't like the term glitch in the matrix because for me, a glitch is an accident or a mistake, something that's not supposed to happen.
Well, I guess it's a way for the 3D, those of us in the 3D, to be able to explain it in a pragmatic way so it doesn't, call it miracle. It's a little woo for us, I think. So maybe a glitch in the matrix makes us be more comfortable with it. You can call it whatever you want, but
okay, I'll call, because I know a lot of people call it coincidence too.
Yeah,
but that's too much of it. That's like a miracle. That's a little miracle.
I do believe now, after all these years, that there is no coincidence. That everything happens for a very specific reason, and that we are timeline shifting. And reality, reality transurfing? So I know that things move. Like I can imagine that there is a timeline that coffee creamer was on the edge and it fell down, and you found it. You shifted timelines, and there it was, or something. But I can explain it, but we'd love to hear from you. If there's any experiences that you have had, put them down in the comments so that we can share them with the rest of the audience. So, all right.
All right.
Another question, Kara?
Sure.
Okay. This is from Jeremy in Australia.
Ooh, you have to read it with an Australian accent.
Oh boy, no, I don't want to insult Jeremy. Sorry. We have a friend whose every accent sounds like Indian.
That's true. Every single accent he does.
Scottish sounds like Indian. Jamaican sounds like Indian.
Hispanic
sounds Indian. I don't want to be that guy. So, okay. So he says, do you think all spiritual teachers should be certified? Why or why not?
I
Gloves are off.
I don't.
No,
I don't. I mean, I don't know why I don't. I think some things, okay, it kind of goes back to that radio versus, sound waves and the prescriptions for sound baths.
Mhm.
I think some things like how everyone's experience, everyone's spiritual experience is so incredibly different. Channelers are all very different.
Right.
Past life regressionists, all of that, and how they got to that place is also very different. Some of them are born with these abilities. Some people teach themselves and learn them. Some people have like an accident and things just happen, or some sort of event that causes an awakening. So I think to make someone have to be certified to be able to teach other people would say that they're, maybe if they were born with it or if they had that event,
Maybe it's
would not
Maybelline.
be as valid as someone else who had studied for it.
You missed my joke.
No, it wasn't that funny.
Just ignore me. Here.
Yeah.
Reset. So very good point. I'm of two minds. Because I think it'd be pretty ludicrous to ask Jesus to get certified.
Yes.
Right? For one. However, I do believe that there is value in thinking that someone that is going to work on you in some way, shape, or form probably needs their shit together in order to work on you. Right. Otherwise, something that might not be meaning to be passed on might be passed on. Psychologists, psychiatrists are obligated to go to other psychologists in order to work their shit out so that they can help other people. I think that's...
Well, no, they're there to learn how to help other people. A lot of them have their own stuff
but,
that never gets fixed.
But they go to therapy so they can work through their own stuff. So I'm of two minds because there are very, very, very talented people out there that don't need any type of certification. Right. But yet at the same time, I'm worried, here goes the pragmatic in me, right? I'm worried that there are, unfortunately, in every industry, there are charlatans. There are people who are there just to take someone's money. And so how do you prevent someone from being swindled?
Right? Maybe like some sort of I'll say background check or something, maybe there's like a different
certification.
Okay. So I thought you meant like a degree in that field or something like that.
I don't think a degree is necessary.
Well, not a degree, but like, you know what I mean? Like coursework in that field. I thought that's what you meant by certification.
Well, for example, when I studied Reiki, at the end of the class, I received a certificate that I had taken this course and I was qualified to use Reiki in my healing services.
Okay. So I had an attunement, which I guess technically would mean I'm qualified, but I can't do any of that.
Well, that actually is right to my point where I'm not sure that particular practitioner was in the right space to be able to attune you. So it was kind of a waste of that.
Right. But if it's just about the certification, I could,
Right. So I guess you could take it a step further into certification, but then you have to have a certain amount of continuing education or
hours. Or, I mean, the best way for me, I think, to find someone is really through referrals, through word of mouth, through reviews. I mean, if you don't know anybody, then that's when you go and you look at the reviews and you do your research, because it can be something that can have as much impact on you as going to a counselor or psychologist.
Oh, maybe more.
And so you really want to make sure that you're getting someone who's qualified, someone that, at least if you don't know them through or know of them through someone that you know and trust, you can find enough, verifiable recommendations to make you feel safe.
Right. So I guess we answered all the questions that we needed to on that.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, the answer is we don't know. We go before we go any further. Before we go to the next question, I just wanted to remind everybody that's watching this or listening to this, we do have a newsletter that we are constantly sending people. Not constantly. Sounds really bad. Like we're constantly sending stuff. No. We would love for you to join our newsletter because we have some of our past guests will actually offer some really generous discounts or free services sometimes to our listeners if they are if they use a certain code or whatever, and we share that information through our newsletter. So if you aren't part of our newsletter yet, I would encourage you to do that. All you need to do is go to skepticmetaphysician.com and go to the newsletter. Here it is. And hit the newsletter tab and you can sign up for the newsletter, and then we'll send you just once a week that says, here's the latest episode, here's what it's about. And by the way, here's the code that you can use for this person's discount or whatever. We're just passing it through. We're not getting a kickback on any of this stuff. That's not what we're interested in. We're interested in helping get these things out so that you can try them for yourself and see what fits for you, what resonates. Because at the end of the day, we believe that although there might be one truth, there are many paths to it. And that's the whole point of the show. So that's our way of giving back.
And if you are looking to maybe find someone that you can work with in this space, you can go through our different episodes. We've got a few hundred on there, and you can actually hear someone and their story. And maybe, if you're looking for a channeler or medium or something, and get to I don't know, learn a little bit about them that way. And maybe that can start you off on your path for a provider.
I totally forgot. Now you just reminded me, there's an email I need to read because, oh my gosh.
We got the best email. And please, if you are a listener, or even if you're not, we love reviews, and even if they're critical reviews, we will take it because we want to make this the best possible show that's going to help the most amount of people. So if there's something you think we need to do better, that's wonderful. If there's something that you already like, we'd love to hear about that too.
Yeah. And so this email came in a few days ago, and I had to send her an email back saying, hey, is it okay if we use this on the show? Because there's some personal stuff in there. And she came back with, yes, absolutely, feel free. And so I want to read it to you because it actually brought tears to our eyes. It's from Alexi. I'm only going to use her first name. It's Alexi. And she says, hi, Will and Karen. I'm not sure if you remember me. I contacted you. This is very small text here. There we go. I contacted you a while ago regarding getting connected to one of your guests, Jennifer Foster. I actually began working more extensively with Maria Rothenberger, PhD, Dr. Maria, after hearing her on your show, who has made an incredible difference in my journey. I've had a long past 4 years of infertility with 4 miscarriages and a failed IVF cycle. Maria connected me to my spirit baby, a pink starlight girl who I was told wanted to come Earthside. Maria told me that basically my higher self was leading me on this path and that I was learning to be in the best vibrational space to parent this child. I was able to connect with my spirit baby, which gave me a lot of comfort and hope. There have been many synchronicities that have confirmed this information. One amazing example is that Maria told me that my spirit baby wanted to be referred to as Rose. When we finally told my firstborn child, which we had no issues conceiving, that she would be having a sister, without any mention of the name before, I asked if she had any names she liked for her sister, and her first response was Rosie. I actually started this journey by listening to your show, which opened a lot of new ideas and possibilities for me. Thank you for doing the show and being so relatable to so many people. The resources that you offer people are invaluable. I just want everyone to know that if you have a desire, you have to trust it. You most likely will not know that what will be in the future, but you just have to take one step at a time and trust your higher self. I highly recommend contacting Maria Rothenberger for any listeners who would like to connect with their spirit baby or babies. Thanks again for all you do, and keep up the great work, Alexi. When I first read that, I had tears in my eyes. Such a wonderful story. And that's the kind of thing that helps us to get the motivation to move it forward. Because even though we may not have been directly responsible for the birth of Rose, the fact that we were able to connect her to Dr. Maria, that gave her that peace of mind to help her get that baby across, is unbelievable. So thank you so much, Alexi, for sharing that with us.
And she sent a picture, just a gorgeous.
She did.
Oh my goodness, she's beautiful.
We're going to have to put it in the blog post or whatever, so you can see it, because she's gorgeous. But all right, so Karen, I think that
yes.
Maybe we should call it, or do you want to answer more questions?
Do you want to answer a question?
It's up to you.
And I got new contacts, but one is for close up and one is for far away. So if I go like this, oh, okay, here we go. Will, from Beth in Orlando.
Yes, Beth in Orlando.
What's one belief you'd drop if evidence proved it wrong? I asked you the easy one.
I think it'd be all the above, right? If evidence absolutely proves something wrong, well, now I don't know. Now I don't know, because science has been shown to be fallible.
Yeah. That's very true. They keep changing it.
So I guess it would depend on what kind of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's indefutable evidence, then I would drop it, obviously.
Like,
But
if you believed in your heart that a container of creamer could not make its way from a pantry to a hallway,
right.
and then you saw it there, would you believe that now that it can?
Well,
That any product can leave?
my first instinct would be to try to figure out an answer, like a plausible reason that it could have happened. Maybe someone moved it or something. I don't know. I would have
slept through an earthquake or something.
Yes, exactly.
Shook it off the
exactly. But I think we're talking about. Beth was talking about the opposite, right? What is one belief you drop if evidence proved it wrong? So, for example, if life after death was proved irrefutably incorrect, would I drop it?
Would you drop it?
If it was irrefutable proof, I would have no choice. However, I would have to really look into that proof before I can make that determination, because
well, see, now you would be dropping already some beliefs in order to believe that was irrefutable. Because if right now you're believing that everything's happening all the time and there's multi-universes and dimensions, you'd have to give all that up to believe that one person got something right, and that experience that person is having to prove that there's no life after death applies, just period. So that no other timelines could, see, it gets kind of complicated.
This is too complicated. I can't. And sorry, Beth, I can't answer that question. I don't. I'd have to look at the proof, and I'd have to see what exactly we were talking about before I could drop something. I also do believe that there's value in the placebo, right? Let's just put it out there. God forbid there is no life after death. And let's say there's no life after death. The thought, the feeling that there is gives so many people this sense of deep comfort that I think there's value in that, and letting that play because you feel more comfortable going into the dark unknown.
Well, and it's interesting that people feel that way, because then people think, maybe there's heaven, maybe there's hell. And then if you don't go to heaven, you can go in hell. And that's very scary. I mean, I personally don't believe in hell, but that's my shtick. But I always thought that it wouldn't necessarily be scary if it's lights out, because like you just go sleep. That's it. You don't have to get up the next day and go to work. I don't know. It doesn't
scare you.
It doesn't seem
if there's nothing at all, it's just darkness.
No,
and there's
you won't
else.
know.
Well, I know that, but the thought of going into that, knowing that it's the end, there's nothing after I close my eyes. There's gonna be nothing.
But the thing is, we don't know.
We don't. But that's what used to scare me. That thought that I'm going into someplace that will no longer exist, and so the sum of all my parts is no longer going to be in existence, and that was really difficult for me to handle, especially if they made a new Superman movie. I was going to miss it, and I couldn't. That would have been terrible.
And so if that is well, I know it's not anymore your thought, but if it was, that would give you all the much more reason to really sacarle el jugo, get all the juice out of this life, right? Experience everything, enjoy things as much as you can. Which
I would say is our purpose here anyway. That's what we should be doing anyway. So we're going back to the conversation of being present in the moment. The most important thing you can do is experience life as you are living it right now. Like really live it. That's what we're here for. Because once we pass, whatever's out there, there's one thing for sure. This existence changes. Our existence changes. It's totally different. We don't know what it's going to be. It could be something way better, but it could be something that's just more flat, which is what a lot of people are saying. Like you can't experience all the different emotions. You can experience all the different things that you can experience here in this three-dimensional world, this physical world. So that's what we come here, is to experience everything so that we can bring it back with us and have those memories. I know you don't believe that.
I didn't say that I didn't believe that. I believe that, but differently.
Tell me.
So I think, you were talking about things being flat without having the experiences that we have here. I think everything is so much more amplified as far as experiencing emotions and that, but it's different. It's very different. Feeling something that coincides with a physical, also body feeling of it is a very different experience. Doesn't mean it's less or more than what. Well, that gets into a whole long conversation for another day.
Right. I'm
gonna have to hyperventilate for that one.
Tune in next month. I'm going to make Karen hyperventilate so she can bring out entity forward.
It's no, that seems like so. It's not like I just like.
I mean, kind of.
But it's not like an intentional thing. It's just like, okay, here we go.
All you need to do is make her breathe into a paper bag, and this thing comes out of her. No, but do tune in next month. You never know whether she's going to be up for it. So here's the interesting thing for me is I've read the Bob Monroe books about astral projection and journeys out of the body and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was his first book. He talked about another life, like he actually accessed heaven or whatever the other life is, and people are just acting normally, just the way that we are. It's just in a different vibrational rate. So who knows? Maybe we do experience things there exactly like here, just more or stronger, or I don't know. But then it wouldn't really explain why we're here in the first place, I would think. No. So I'm sticking to my guns. All right. All right. I think we have so many more questions. We got through three. We got the three questions, three audience questions.
I think we talked too much.
I'm so sorry. Melissa from Denver, James from Austin, Laura from Portland, Angela from San Diego, all you that wrote in questions, we're so sorry. We will hold on to them and try to answer them next month for you. So please tune in then, as always. If you haven't liked and reviewed our show yet on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of the platforms you listen to the show on, please do so. It really helps us to get the word out to more people. We, like Karen said earlier, we love hearing from folks. So there's a contact us form on our page. Even better, what would be cool is if you leave us a voicemails, like a question or a comment or something, we'll play them on the show. So, and not just this live show, but actually on the actual show. So please feel free to leave us a voicemail, and you just might hear your voice on the show, because we'd love to interact with the folks that listen and watch the show. So, what else? Anything else? Share this show with people that you think would enjoy these conversations. If you have a killer story that you want to share on the show, reach out to us. We have a place on our website that you can submit yourself to be a guest on the show. And we're working on some things that might be cool things coming up in the future too. So stick with us. Subscribe to the newsletter so you learn about all these things. You'll be the first one to learn about all these things, because I know that you're not going to want to miss it. So, Karen, any last minute words of wisdom you want to impart on us?
Words of wisdom? Well, I don't know if I'm the right person for words of wisdom.
Well, you can.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, just take those moments. Like when the monks are walking by, just take a moment and take a breath. 1 or 2 a day, and just focus on that. And I don't mean that's better if you can do the whole breathing, but if not, just take a moment and be aware of your surroundings, and just thank God or heaven or the universe or whoever or energy that you're there and you're able to experience it.
Yeah, I love that. You just reminded me one last thing I want to talk about. I want to say really quickly.
I always have to have the last word.
But no, I'll give it back to you again. But one thing that I've noticed, here's the thing I recommend most to you. We talked earlier about finding the miracles and everything that you're doing, but even more so. And I'm a child of routines. Like I'm lost without routines. But here's my challenge to you. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, lose the routines. Just throw the routines out the window just for the day, just for an hour, just for that minute. Do something completely unexpected. That is going to supercharge your presence in the moment. It's our routines that force us to be unconsciously living through the world day by day. Our routines that keep us living by rote. Lose the routine and you will find yourself very much living in the present. So Karen's about to call me a hypocrite, but that's okay.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing this happen.
What she doesn't know is I've already been doing it. But anyway, we thank you so very much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or any comments you want us to read, didn't want to do it on the show today, please feel free. skepticmetaphysician.com. It's singular only because I started the show by myself. And when I went to go buy the domain with a plural, it was already taken. So skepticmetaphysician.com. Send us your questions. Send us your comments. We always love to hear from you. Leave us a 5-star review. Help us get the word out. Share it with someone. And thank you again for being a part of our community, being part of our family. We love you very much.
We really do.
And we'll see you next second Tuesday of the month. Until then, take really good care of yourself.